Welcome in, Jeremy Popielarz here with you. As always, it is week 9. It is Sunday morning. It is hectic in the Popielarz household. We'll say that. Potty training, not fun. Not gonna lie to you. Been running around this morning, so definitely have a lot of questions over on the Start Sit thread. Obviously, you can drop your questions in the comments here on YouTube, or if you're on X, go ahead, drop it in there. I can pull either of those up. We're going to try and get these answers out to you as best as possible. Try to catch up on that thread as well. And, we're going to push through. It's week 9. We got a Bills home game, Bills Dolphins. It's always a fun one there. Other than that, we're going to roll through this here and dive in. I'm not going to give too much here of just randomness because we had a lot of questions. Like I said, a lot of questions over on the Start Sit thread to get through to. So I apologize if it's a little bit later than when that question was dropped. And hopefully Twitter cooperates with me today and I can get through as many of these as we can. And then obviously I'll answer all of your questions if you can drop them in the comments because that'll be easier for me to see. So if you're watching this on that thread, which I tagged it on, just drop a question in the comment and I'll get to it a little bit quicker. That way, hopefully I don't miss too many that were already asked earlier in the morning. Good morning, David. Hopefully it's less chaotic in your household over there, David. Got Rocky dropping in here right at 11:02, dropping in the Waddle or Tillman question. Starting us off hot here. Cedric Tillman for me. Two against the Bills. It's not a situation you want to dabble with if you have a quality option. And Tillman is that at this point in time. Yes, it could be short lived, and we could see the end of it at some point in time with Cedric Tillman. I liked Tillman as a prospect. I think Tillman's a good player the rest of the season, at least, especially paired with Jameis Winston. So I'm riding Tillman. It's a good matchup for him today. The Chargers are missing a couple extra pieces that should make it a little bit easier to pass on the Chargers. Bo or Stafford? I'm going to go Stafford here. Both stronger starts, but Stafford against the Rams is a no-brainer for me there, Rocky. Morning, Anthony. We got McConkey or Ramondre. I would go Ramondre. It's a little bit of a tougher matchup against the Titans. They're not necessarily giving up a ton of points to the running backs, but Drake Mayback is a huge boost for that offense. I think Ramondre should have a solid role. He's been kind of slowly increasing his role the last few weeks, as well as McConkey has too. But McConkey a little bit tougher matchup in that Cleveland secondary than Ramondre against the Titans for me. So I'm going to go there. Iconic. Good morning. Morning. I have Jordan Love or Bo Nix. Now, I like Love. I have him ranked the highest. I know he's coming off that injury, so there's obviously the re-injury aggravation concern. There's also a weather concern kind of going on. I've seen it floating around on X as far as there might be some bad weather in that game. I still am probably going to roll Jordan Love. Bo Nix, another one that's riding hot right now, but is the time coming at some point? It's a good matchup for him as far as a passer goes. They're likely going to be down in the game, so I understand maybe wanting to be tempted by Bo Nix. I personally still have him ranked outside the top 12 this week, and I could be wrong. But I still think I would roll Jordan Love there. Flex option, wide receiver 2, DJ Moore, Marvin Harrison, JSN, or Zay Flowers. I would probably go DJ Moore. I think they try to actively get him involved, but I only have him a few spots ahead of JSN. No DK Metcalf. It's a good matchup against the Rams. Obviously, JSN and Tyler Lockett will be the features in that passing. Bobo will probably get some work as well. So I really like JSN this week as well. So I'd probably still lean DJ Moore, but JSN's also a close second if you want to have somebody up in there. Yeah, he may. Khalif Raymond, has secretly been a great player for me, Uncle Ted, every now and then. Although it seems like I never get the nuclear week. So maybe Uncle Ted's telling us something here. We got to go Khalif Raymond, maybe. PPR need to TJ Hawkinson, Addison, Hopkins, or Chubb. I would go Addison. I like the matchup against Indy secondary. It's not good. So we'll go with that one there. Addison, I think, feels like a decent start. And then it's probably between Hawkinson and Hopkins. Depends if you want to double load on the Vikings offense, Waterboy. I probably would go Hopkins. Sounds like he's going to be more involved this week. And obviously it's a good matchup against Tampa Bay. So I'd probably go Addison and Hopkins there, Waterboy. Camille, High half PPR league, sit 2 out of Waddle, Pittman, Leggett, Stevenson, Bucky, and Chuba. So it would probably be Waddle and Leggett for me. Would be the 2 I'd sit, Kamel. Waddle against the Bills, no go for me there. And then Leggett, yeah, the struggle with Leggett is it's a good matchup against the Saints because like their entire team's hurt. So it's up and down, but then it's Bryce Young. So like, yeah, it's great. Injuries in New Orleans, quarterback play, meh. So I would probably roll Waddle and Leggett. If you really wanted to plug Leggett in, Kamel, if you had a vibe on him, I would probably sit Bucky of those then. So I'd play Stevenson, Chuba, and Pittman as locks. And then Bucky's my last guy in. Question around Leggett and Bucky. This is also true, Ted. I wouldn't go that far. It hurts for sure. But if you're referring to the Bills game, yeah, that was rough, but different caliber defense. I think the Seahawks against the Los Angeles Rams secondary will be all right, Ted. Starting Cook, Tracy, St. Brown, McConkey, McLaurin, DJ Moore, Gibbs. I have Myers, Cooper, Tillman, Bigsby, Deontay, and Otten on the bench. Yeah, I mean, my only play would be maybe McConkey. Like, I kind of prefer Tillman a little to McConkey, but like it's not by a lot. So if you have McConkey feel, David, roll with what you have. Ross, Pollard, or Downs. I probably lean the downside a little bit. I like the matchup for him against the Vikings. Obviously, Joe Flacco with Josh Downs is significantly better than Anthony Richardson with Josh Downs. Grayson, Moore, Jordan Love, Flacco, or Jameis. I have Jordan Love here. I'm not steering away too much with the weather, and obviously an injury re-aggravation could happen, which isn't great. But I would still lean towards Jordan Love there, Grayson. Stafford or Cousins here for Ranger Pete. I'm not worried about who my opponent has, and I guess for rooting interests, but all we're doing is rooting. It's not going to actually affect anything. I would probably play Stafford either way here. I like the matchup again against the Seattle secondary that can be passed on. Should have Nakua, it sounds like, so they'll have a full complement of weapons. So I would roll with Stafford. Rocky, I'd take Tillman over Waddle for sure there, Rocky. And then I like Jacobs over Tracy this week. Although I like Tyrone Tracy a little bit higher than most on Tyrone Tracy this week, but I shouldn't say that. At least at FCN, I'm a little bit higher than them because I can see that. Everybody else in the world, not too sure. But Brian Robinson or Josh Downs for Nick Petrello on X. I would go Downs there. I like that spot for him this evening. Mahomes or Stafford for Noel. I would go Stafford. Mura, Worthy, Jacoby Myers, Cedric Tillman. Pick 2 would be Myers and Tillman. Anthony McConkey or Ramondre. I would go Ramondre there. David Tillman or Jacoby. No, my tight end is Bowers unless you think Otten over him. I would play Bowers over Otten. The Chiefs are really good at eliminating what is your best weapon. And Otten will probably be that for them. So they're going to be going ahead and probably locking down Cade Otten this week. So definitely play Bowers over Otten, in my opinion. I would take Tillman over Jacoby. The Chargers are missing a few pieces. I think it's Asante Samuel and somebody else. I'm not 100% sure which one it is in the secondary there for the Chargers. So I would probably pay Tillman. It's really close though because Jacoby's also been like peppered with targets as well, and the Bengals defense is also bad. So you kind of have an embarrassment of riches in the matchup category here, David. But I lean Tillman over Jacoby this week. Shane, Nix, or Daniels? I'd play Daniels. Shane. I mean, obviously the injury concern, but I think Daniels should be, again, the ribs should be healed up a little bit more. It's going to always be a pain tolerance thing with ribs if they're not broken. So you're going to be dealing with Daniels like this injury issue week in and week out. It's a good matchup against the Giants. Mark, McConkey, Harris Jr., or Thomas Jr. I'm going to play BTJ if he goes here, just because of the pure upside. And it's an easy matchup in Philadelphia for the Jaguars receivers. So I would go Brian Thomas Jr. there. Bella on X, Cousins or Prescott would be Cousins for me. And then Rico Dowdle or ETN, I would go Dowdle there. Justin Pena Cripps on X, Tracy Chubb, DJ Moore, or Stevenson for flex would be Tracy for me there. Melanie, injuries are on bye at me hard at the choices of Addison, Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore, and not sure who to start between Brian Robinson or Jacobs. So it'd be Jacobs and Addison. For me there, Melanie. Ty Campbell, we've got Waddle or Shakir would be Shakir for me. Tracy or Njoku would be Tracy. Tracy over Brian Robinson or Dowdle. Yes. So Tyson, yeah, I'd play Shakir over Waddle, Tracy over Njoku, and then I would have Tracy over Brian Robinson and Rico Dowdle. John Lee, 12-team PPR, only 4 bench. I need to drop 1 and pick up a defense this week. Bucky, Deontay Johnson, Pickens, Tracy, and Waddle. It'd probably be Deontay Johnson for me, John Lee. Like, I don't really have any interest in Deontay in Baltimore. Not at all. It's a team that only throws the ball like 29 times a game, if you're lucky. And a lot of that goes to tight ends, Zay Flowers. So I don't know how much is going to be left on the bone there for Deontay Johnson to be like a trustworthy asset. I feel like you're going to be very hard set to start him. So I would, probably drop Deontay Johnson of that group there. Anthony, Waddle, or Pittman. I would play Michael Pittman. I don't like the matchup at all for the Miami receivers. Phil Mathan on X, Knicks versus Baltimore or Kyler versus Chicago. I'm going Kyler there. It's close, but I'm going to go Kyler. Let's see here. Bernie Mac 2 at flex. Olave Stevenson or Devontae Smith standard scoring. Standard, I'm going to leave Stevenson most likely to find the end zone there for you, Bernie Mac. Dominic Ambrose, Keon Coleman, or J.K. Dobbins. I think I'm going to go Coleman here. J.K. Dobbins has slowed himself down a lot. It's a tough matchup against Cleveland. I think I'm going to lean towards Coleman a little bit there. Drew, start to Bigsby, ETN, or Bucky Irving. I would go Bigsby and Irving for you there, Drew. Need to have PPR league for Sager Joel. Pollard, Dobbins, Montgomery. I'd go Pollard and Monty. Pollard or Tracy for Sean. I would go Tracy in that situation. Trevor Gilbertson, 2 leagues. Knicks or Dak would be Knicks. And then Love or Dak would be Love. Mark G, one more for you. Shoot. Boys and gals. Full PPR, flex from Andre, Tracy, or Downs. It's a good one. Good one, Mark. I'm going to go Tracy. I'm in on Tyrone Tracy this week. Shane Darnold or Love. Detroit defense makes me question Love. I don't worry about Detroit's defense. They're not as good as you think, um, especially against the pass, Shane. But I do lean Love a little bit. Darnold's definitely in question because you can pass against Indianapolis as well. The issue would be the weather that's supposed to be there in Detroit. I should check that out. Weather in Green Bay. Yeah, some rain is forecasted for today. 52. Let's see here. Kind of 100% between the entirety of the game, according to Google, at least. So, Shane, that would be my question: is if you're afraid of the rain for Jordan Love, which I get, but I still have Love ranked a few spots ahead of Darnold. So, and if you're worried about it, like you're making the choice, Shane. So if you're worried about the weather, I don't factor it in a ton. I mean, a little bit. If it's like an absolute downpour, it could create an issue for them. But if it is, I would go Darnold. Excuse me, sorry. I wouldn't go like Darnold's not that much ranked lower than Love, so like I'm okay if you really want to go Darnold, Shane. I mean, you're talking a few points likely there on that end. There for you, Shane. Rick, need to Hill, BTJ, or Dubes or Flowers. I would play Tyreek Hill and Brian Thomas Jr. It's hard to sit Tyreek Hill. It's going to be a tough matchup for him, but I can't sit Tyreek Hill. David, start to DJ Moore, Swift, Connor, Bucky, Mooney, Ridley, Bryant, Robinson. So it would probably be Brian, definitely Swift. I have Swift as a top 10 running back this week. And then probably DJ Moore's the next ranked highest player I have, David, but it's like I don't know if I want to double dip on the Bears. If you don't mind that, I would play DJ Moore and Swift. If you want to pivot off of a Bear, I would probably play Mooney over DJ Moore. If you want to roll that way. Rocky, Cedric Tillman. Shane, you are welcome. Rick, you are also welcome. All right. Kenny Colston on X in bad shape with Godwin BTA. Yeah, that will do it for you. Coker, Tillman, BTJ if active, D Hop, Rashad White, McMillan. So we need 3. So Tillman, White, BTJ would be my 3, Kenny. Rich Finch, Montgomery, Bigsby, Madison start to sit 1. I'd probably sit Madison, Rich. Scott, Love or Baker Mayfield. I would go Love there for you, Scott. Eric Lithenberg, Hill, Hunter, or Komet. I would go Komet there, Eric. Love or Lawrence for Paul. I would go Love. I'm not going to chase Trevor Lawrence's points. Good matchup, but I ain't going to chase those points. Jack, pick 2 out of Jacobs, Dobbins, BTJ, or Mooney. So Jacobs for me is 1. And I would probably go Brian Thomas Jr. as well, Jack. Start 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, 1 flex for Janskiz. Jansk. I think that's how you would pronounce that on X. Let's see here. So I would go Dowdle, Downs, and D-Hop. Joel Gomez on X, Wan'Dale Robinson, Coker, or Raymond for wide receiver 3 would be Robinson. Ingram, Slayton, or Reed for flex. I would go Ingram. Cousins or Carr would be Cousins for me, Joel. Baby, deep PPR league, Jermaine Burton, Quentin Johnson, or Coker. I'd try Coker in that situation. Half PPR for Jacob, Lavers, Downs, Marvin Harrison, or Hunt would be Downs. A nitwit as Taysom or Laporta. I would go Taysom there. Thinking of swapping BTJ with DJ Moore and start Tracy in flex. Omar Medina, Jacoby Myers, or Bucky Irving would be Jacoby for me, especially being full PPR. Omar. Reset season. Good morning. Morning. Struggling with this Njoku or McBride. Yeah, I get why. I would go David Njoku. I'd go McBride. I like don't listen to me at first. Now listen. Yeah, I'd go McBride. Target volume's been there for McBride, one of the more consistent target getters. The touchdowns will come. I know it's a little bit of a tough matchup against Chicago, but I think he'll be all right. So I would go McBride. Njoku a little bit more boom or bust. Worthy or McConkey, they just ruled B-Rob out, so had to slot Ramondre into my running back too. Oh, it is getting close to inactives, Anthony. Yeah, I would go McConkey there for overworthy, Anthony. Gosh dang. Brian Robinson, David. Killing me out here. Not surprised, but he was battling an injury. Easy matchup for Washington, supposedly. Carr or Goff for Craig. I would go Jared. Yeah, I'd go Goff or Carr. Sorry, can't speak this morning. The weather concern is a little bit more effective on the Detroit side for me than Love. So because they can just run Gibbs and Montgomery and they'll just keep pounding it down your throat, and they can do that. The Packers, not so much. So yeah, I'll go Carr there for you, Craig. Kevin Lawrence, Amari Cooper, Leggett, or Christian Watson start one. I would go Leggett. I think it's by a little bit over Amari Cooper. I don't know how much he's going to be involved. He's been battling a wrist injury. He may be inactive unless they are already out for the Bills. Let me check what we got here. They are not. So the team's inactives are not out. Kevin. So if Cooper is even active, I'd probably go Leggett because Cooper might be inactive. He hasn't really practiced much all week. So, yeah, especially with Coleman playing good, Shakir's good to go. I could see them kind of, even if Cooper's out there, not being heavily targeted still. So I would probably go Leggett. Carl Smith, 2 league questions. Pick one: Bigsby, Tolbert, Hunter Henry, Elijah Moore, or Taysom Hill. Would be Bigsby. Other one: Judy, Rico, Deontay Johnson would be Rico for you, Carl. Stephen McMahon, Tyrone Tracy, or Olave. I would go Olave there. Amari Cooper or Tyrone Tracy for Will Levy would be Tracy. Troy Williams, Puka, or Elijah Moore. I would go Puka. There. Guessing OT is supposed to be out, David, but I wouldn't be surprised if Amari Cooper isn't playing. I have my Twitter thread pulled up, but that's all the comments there. I have not seen whether Scheffner is said that or not, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's out. Reset season, Chuba, ETN, or Bigsby, pick 2. Chuba Hubbard for sure against New Orleans. And then I would probably lean Bigsby over ETN. The game script might lead to ETN, though. That's my only concern. It depends how that game goes. The Jags somehow get up. Bigsby may be involved more. But I could see Travis Etienne being involved. Both are kind of banged up. Both are supposed to play. So I would probably lean Bigsby, unless you have a lean towards ETN. Also fine with it. I have them kind of back to back at the end of the beginning of running back 3 territory ultimately. So Pacheco is available in my league. Is it worth dropping Brooks or Tillman for him? No IR spots though. I mean, it depends. Does Tillman or Brooks become starters for you? I would honestly drop him for Jonathan Brooks. Like, I know we've been waiting for it, but like Schubauer's been playing really good, and there's no chance that Brooks just comes in and he's not going to take 100%, at least right away. So, yeah, I mean, if you want to, like, Isaiah Pacheco might be worth it, I guess. Depends how you're doing, Mike. Like, need points now? No. If you're looking for like a playoff stash, maybe Pacheco becomes that. So I could see that over Jonathan Brooks. A on X, Taysom Hill or Austin Eckler. That would be Eckler. Start 2 Downs, BTJ or Tracy. Would be Downs and Tracy. I need to start 2 out of these guys. Dowdle, Moore, Shakir. Dowdle and Shakir. Daniel pick 2. Let's see here. Kyler and Darnold over Caleb. Then pick 1 Ingram, Waddle, Myers, or Cooper. I would go Ingram. Let's see here. Tyrone Tracy or James Conner. I would go Tracy. David, bench 1, Reed, BTJ, Cup, Olave, Chase, Brown. It'd be BTJ for me, David. But if you're really concerned about the weather, I'm fine with sitting Reed if you really want to. Full PPR pick 2, Pollard, Connor, or Downs. Pollard and Downs. Peter Garcia, Tracy, or B-Rob. Well, that one's taken care of. But we'll still answer it. Tracy and Murray. Pick 3 to start. Pittman, Ridley, Tillman, Irving, Worthy for Willie T's dad. I would go Pittman, Ridley, and Tillman. T on X, Kyler or Daniels, and then Tillman or Romeo. I would go Tillman. Love, Nix, or Darnold for Justin. I would go Darnold. Oh. Rachel Hogan, PPR start 2, Flowers, Sutton, BTJ, D Hop, or Irving. So BTJ and D Hop for me, Rachel. Ryan Smith, PPR starting Otten in my tight end slot, start 2 and flex. Amari, Ridley, Ferguson, Bucky, ETN. Ridley and Ferguson for me. Victor Rodriguez, 2 quarterback league, pick 2 out of Caleb Williams, Murray, and Carr. Murray and Williams. Victor. Peter, start 2 of Worthy, Dowdle, Javante, Tracy. Would be Dowdle and Tracy. Mostert, Coker, or ETN. Would be Mostert. William, pick 1 Flex, Javante, Mostert, Tolbert, Jerry, Judy. I would go Tolbert there. J. Rob, Chubb or Doubs? It was Dubes for a long time. But I could see Chubb just based on the weather and what it sounds like in Green Bay at this point in time. Looks like a lot of rain. So I would go Chubb. Nakua, St. Brown, McLaurin neighbors can only start 2. Puka and St. Brown. Whoa. Just punched the microphone. Apologies for that sound clip. Cade Otton or Ferguson. I would go Otton. And then Keon Coleman, Darnell Mooney, or BTJ for Nakua. Mooney if Nakua is out. Let's see here. Brian Churzik, start 2 standard league, at least one running back. Chase Brown, Tracy, Devontae Smith, Olave. I'd go Tracy and Olave. Josh Downs or Dobbins in my flex. I would go Downs. Would you flex Otten and bench one of these running backs? Alexis. Full PPR Dobbins or Tracy. That's Tracy. Pretty easy for me right now. Dobbins has slowed down some. He was wonderful early on, but it has slowed down significant. Oh my God, I cannot speak this morning. Significantly over the last few weeks, and it's another tough matchup against the Cleveland run defense. RG, Javante, Dowdle, or Kyle Pitts in flex. I would go Pitts, I suppose, there. Don't really want much to do with Javante. Dowdle's a decent start, but not crazy. Tiffany, B-Rob, or Irving. That's Irving. And Stafford or Murray. I would go Stafford. Stafford or Lamar. Yeah, you got to play Lamar, Dominic. Ray Rodriguez, start 2, BTJ, Reed, or Myers would be BTJ and Myers. Let's see here. Need one flex. Tracy, Madison, or Hawkinson would be Tracy for Sandra. Isaac, Dobbins, or Tracy would be Tracy. Alphonses Jones. Would you start Lad McConkey over Mooney, knowing that you're also starting Drake London? If you really wanted to, I suppose. I still like Mooney. I like both London and Mooney, truthfully. And they should be able to shred Dallas. But I think McConkey has a good day too. So I think there's a potential McConkey outscores Mooney easily. I have them pretty closely ranked. So if you wanted to, sure, just to spread that out a little bit so that you can root a little bit more for Drake London targets, I'm fine with that. Pittman, Pitt, Sutton at flex. Pittman Jr. for sure. With Flacco, I think that's going to be great. It's a good matchup against the Minnesota secondary. Zach, Fogel, Ridley, or Worthy. I would go Ridley for sure. Thomas, start two. Terry McLaurin, Hunt, or Pollard. I would go McLaurin and Hunt there. Michael Pittman. Oh, 100%. Nikki Banks, Odunze, or Taysom. Ooh. um, I would Taysom Hill. Uh, it is a perfect storm for Taysom Hill. So I could see him scoring a touchdown or three. We'll see. Um, but I want to lean Odunze a little bit here, Niggy, but it's really, really close. If you've got a feeling, how's that song, right? You got a feeling. I would maybe lean Taysom, but Nikki, that's a tough one. Yeah, maybe Taysom. Give it a try. Give it a whirl. I don't think Odunze is going to make us regret it too much. I would say Njoku over Pitts, Kaiser, Tracy, or Monty. I would go Montgomery, Kaiser. They are pretty close. They are, but I would go Montgomery. Jeff, I would go Josh Downs over Nick Chubb this week. Pollard or Dobbins. I would go Pollard. I don't think he mentions it as a little limited. I don't think that will happen because they have no other options. BTJ or McConkey. I would go BTJ for Dan. Survivor fan Elijah Moore or Cole Kmet. I would go Kmet. Trevor Ladd McConkey or BTJ. I would stay with the BTJ train. Brian Jerkins, Ladd, or Tillman. I would go with Ladd. Teammate Chase Brown, Eckler, Pollard, J.K. White. I need two. So I would say probably Chase Brown and Pollard would be my two teammate. David, non-PPR, Bigsby or ETN, JSN, Tillman, Myers. Need two of those. So I would go Bigsby and then JSN and Tillman. Tyler, Dowdle, secure, or Taysom Hill, flex, no in place of inactive Robinson. Non-PPR. I would probably go Dowdle. Good morning, Dak or Burrow. That would be Burrow. And Taysom Hill, Tillman, Tolbert, or Parker Washington would be Tillman for me. Max. What's up, Max? Hunt or Devontae Smith, full PPR? Devonta Smith, Max, would be my play there. Sir William Eyelash, Tillman, or Flowers, I would go Tillman. And Chase Brown or Pollard, I would go Brown. Johnny C. Logan, Tracy, or Hunt, I would go Tracy and BTJ over Coleman. Start Kraft or Andrews. I would go Andrews, JSN or Cooper. Oh, that's JSN. This is an old question though. And I would go Titans defense, Rashard Dottle or Madison. I would go Dowdle. JSN or Tillman, Njoku or McBride would be McBride. And then Tracy or Connor would be Tracy. Alive, Dak or Baker. I would go Baker. Puka or BTJ would still be Puka. Pittman or Sutton at flex would be Pittman. Also have Madison, Cooper, plus Shakir and Tillman. I'd play Shakir that list. Oh, I skipped this one. Sorry. Who should I keep on the bench out of Pittman, Njoku, Kyle Pitts, or Sutton? I'd probably sit Kyle Pitts, would be my guess there. Robot. Educated guess, we'll call it. Kevin, start one, Christian Watson, Tolbert, or Leggett. I would go Tolbert, Kevin, there. Ain't trusting Bryce Young yet with Xavier Leggett. Maybe, but I still lean Tolbert a little bit. And Darrell, start quarterback, Love or Mayfield. I still lean Jordan Love. I know it's not going to be good weather, and there's some panic a little bit there. Obviously, the injury potential. So I still lean Love. I think Mayfield may struggle a little bit against the Chiefs. Gesicki or Laporta. I would go Gesicki there. They mentioned Higgins being out, and I agree. Love or Darnold. I don't mind going to Darnold on that one, Herman. Let's see here. Rob, Jacobs, Pollard, and Tracy. Jacobs and Tracy. There for you, Rob, on X. J Money picks Tipton, Coker, or Tolbert. I would go Tolbert. Although I like Mason Tipton today with Carr under center. Chug the milk. Do I start Tillman or Waddle? I would go Tillman as well. Andrews or Kraft for Juan would be Andrews. Carey, Chase Brown, Ramondre, or Josh Downs in half PPR. I would go Mondre there for you, Carey. John Down, Xavier Worthy, Dobbins, Tillman, Shakir, Chuba, Dubs. Pick 2. Shakir and Tillman for me. Aaron Jones or Ken Walker would be Ken Walker. For K-Mac on X, Dak or Stafford for Puda Mike would be Stafford. JSN or Pittman would be JSN for Alex Gold. I think it seems like it's reached the end of that. We're not sure. Let's see here. It says I have a lot more notifications. V star, start 2, Devontae Smith, Tyrone, Tracy, Puka, Montgomery. Nakua and Monty for me there. Lockett, Shakir, or Hopkins in flex. I would go Shakir. Justin, Drake, May, or Kyler Murray. I would go Kyler. I feel like I answered this question, Andrew L. Love. Did I? Andrew, I think I did. Sorry. A little lost. If you weren't here in the beginning, potty training a toddler this morning. It's chaos over here in my household. BTJ or Jacobs would be Jacobs, and Myers or Dobbins would be Myers. Kenny Mackin, Otten or Bowers would be Bowers still for me. Katsuba, Mantry, Hopes, pick one of the following: JSN, Njoku, Ridley, or D-Hop. That's tough, but we're going to go JSN. Swift or Deontay would be Swift for me there. Big game, James. Jermaine Burton inactive. Interesting. Alrighty here. Ben Kennedy, Njoku, or Kincaid would be Njoku. Flex, Njoku, Kincaid, Deontay, or Moser. I'd roll 12 personnel there. Roll it out. All right, let's see here. Got that one for you. Robert Brown. Oh, that tweet doesn't exist anymore, it's telling me. Reed or Madison. Yeah, I'm going Reed there. Scott Jurnat on X. Chubb or Tracy would be Tracy, and Chubba or Connor would be Chubba. For you, Scott. Okay. Oh boy. Flock. Love leaning, but bad weather and re-injury concern. Caleb or Carr. Still staying with love there, Flock. Romeo. Another Sunday. Yeah, another Sunday. With me. What's up? How's it going? Loving it. Rashad White, Eckler, Robinson is out, unfortunately. Hurts my feelings a little bit. For my flex two, choose one. Okay. So I'd go Rashad White still. Eckler's interesting, but they're going to use Jeremy McNichols. We've seen it. So I'd probably go Rashad White, just the volume in the passing game. He's going to have to be involved, likely behind for Tampa Bay tomorrow. So I'd go Rashad White and then James Cook for the other one, Romeo. Edison, Riddle, Sutton, or Rashad White would be White for me as well. Let's see here. Josh Downs, Tyrone Tracy. I'd go Tracy there. Let's see here. Rico Dowdle or Madison for flex would be Dowdle. Hubbard or BTJ in flex. I'd go Hubbard here. Dilly Bubbles, D Hop or Addison. I'll go D Hop here. Padres, E. Peros, ETN, or Bucky Irving. We'll go ETN there. Dubes or Elijah Moore for Strawberry Twink. I'd go Dubes. And I apologize, people, if you are watching and paying attention and there's random pauses. My Twitter is absurd right now, as far as just like trying to figure out where these questions are coming from and other people's posts. It's wild. These notifications are absurd. So I'm trying to make sure I ain't double dipping questions. But Alex McConkey or Brian Thomas Jr. would be Brian Thomas Jr. ETN Bigsby over Chubb. Basically, pick my poison with which one? Yeah, yeah, pretty much sounds about all right. I mean, ETN's probably the better option based on game script prediction. But if one finds the end zone, I'm guessing it's Bigsby over ETN. Um, both have injuries. Like it's a tough call with ETN and Bigsby. It really is, truthfully. Um, if I had to guess, the one that's going to have a bigger game is probably ETN. If I'm leaning a direction, um, just because I predict the Jags to be down, and we know that they're going to use ETN in the passing game as opposed to Bigsby. Matt, yeah, I'd go ETN here too. Again, kind of the same thing. They're going to use him in the passing game. Bucky Irving, another one that's, yeah, he could be solid, but the Chiefs' run defense is good, and they're going to use Rashad White as a passing down back. So I would probably go Travis Etienne in a full PPR league. Jayville Golden Panthers, Kelsey or Zach Ertz would be Kelsey. James Sanders, Mooney, Worthy, BTJ, Irving for flex. I'd go BTJ. See who else. Anybody else crazy inactive here before I recommend them to start? Ooh, Deontay Foreman. Interesting. Not overly surprised, but DJ Chark's inactive. No surprise. Thought he might make his way in, but yeah, the entire New Orleans Saints secondary. Yeah, yeah. Oh, KJ Osborne sitting down. Looks like Javon Baker made his way into the lineup. Picked up Gasecki to play over Crackton Hawkinson. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. Obviously Burton's down too now. They're sitting him. So yeah, I like Mike Gesicki this week a little bit more now, considering everything that's unfolded this morning. I like Hawkinson though. I feel like from what I've heard, and the rumors are that Hawkinson's been pretty good to go here for a week or so. They just haven't really plugged him in yet to give him a little bit extra rest. So I think Hawkinson won't be limited. So I like Hawkinson in a good matchup, but Mike Gesicki also is a very strong play, Matt. Planet Hope would be Khalil Shakir here for me over Dowdle and Bucky. Ricky Moreno, MHJ, or Tillman. I'd go Marvin Harrison Jr. there. Let's see here. Burrow or Bo Nix for Carlos would be Burrow. Brent Wozniak, Ingram, or Ferguson. I would go Ingram there. Christian Mostert or Swift. I would go Swift there. Taylor, Pittman, or Ridley. I'd go Pittman. Jamie Otten, Shakir, or McConkey in PPR. I would go Shakir there. Matt, Shakir for me as well. Pratt, Brian Thomas Jr. or Downs. I would go BTJ there. Goff or Caleb. That I would go Caleb for Nunya on X. Kyle Kraft or okay. Dun, dun. Pick 4: Worthy, Coleman, Amari, Dubes, Ridley, Chube, Mosert. That's gonna be tough. Coleman, Ridley, Mosert, Chubb, and then Kraft or Ferguson would be Fergie. I mean, I have them ranked pretty close to each other, so I wouldn't think so. Maybe it's a couple points difference. But Nakua again, what is this injury? I didn't expect him to have the workload he had last week. So if he comes out off of this injury and is again the main target, yeah, you may. Um, but if he's limited to any capacity, London may have the better day. Both have strong matchups. Both are obviously their team's lead target when they are healthy. So I think he'll be okay. I don't think it's gonna be terrible there, Matt. Monty or Downs, I would go Montgomery there as well. Man, Pratt. Pollard or Dobbins, I would go Pollard. Let's see here. Mahomes or Mayfield, I would go Mayfield. Okay, let's see here. We got Nick Macron on X, Shakir or Ramondre. I would probably go Ramondre. I'd go Shakir here. I think the Bills are going to pass all over the Dolphins. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. I mean, you'll be fine. Garrett Wilson shredded. You're good, Matt. No worries. Mostert or Jeremy McNichols. I honestly, I like McNichols. I think. I know it sounds wild, but I think I am. I think he could have a touchdown. Toby, pick 2: Pittman, DJ Moore, McConkey, or Myers. I will go Pittman and DJ Moore there, Toby. Definitely McNichols over Bucky Irving, that's for sure. Pitts or Pittman. I would go Pittman here. Let's see here. Lost Robinson, Bigsby, or Roshan. I would go Bigsby, and then BTJ, Deontay, or Ishovius would be BTJ. For Anthony on X. So we got here Brian Thomas Jr. or Alexander Madison would be BTJ for Go Canes, Ravens, or Philly defense. I would probably say Philly. Madison or Javante would be Madison. Myers, Wandell Robinson, or Javante. Jacoby Myers, Josh Downs, Javante Williams, Keenan Allen would be Myers and Downs. That's a long one. Yeah, I know. That's the struggle. The Bills aren't as weak against running backs in the perspective that would help Raheem Mostert. Bill's weakness against running backs is the passing running backs, which is going to be Devon Achane. So although Mostert could find the end zone, I'm not banking on it. McNichols, I think Washington should be in command, and they're going to kind of pound and ground a little bit. So I'd probably roll McNichols still, but to each their own. I mean, I like ETN. I think ultimately it's going to be a split backfield with him and Bigsby. I don't think he's going to be what we all probably expected him to be this year. And I don't know. I think Peterson probably stays for a bit still. We'll see. Depends how bad they lose. McNichols over Algier for sure there too as well. Let's see, flex Watson or Addison. I would go Addison. Parasay, BTJ over London or over JSN. I would do JSN and then Love over Dak. CRD 28, 2 of these full PPR start. 3. Wait, start 2 of these 3. Oh, okay. Chuba, Ramondre, or White. Chuba and Ramondre. K Street with Robinson now out. Do I flex Christian Watson, Ertz, DeMario, Douglas? I'd go Douglas. There for K Street. All right, where are we at here? Pollard is active, but didn't practice all week? Yeah, I'm going Pollard. Like, I mean, Chestnut's interesting, but like, no. Tony Pollard's going to see a lot of touches. It was very similar to what it was leading up to the Bills. Okay, for them, saw tons of touches. So I'm going to go Tony Pollard there over Chestnut still, even though he didn't practice a ton. Yeah, I think McNichols will have a pretty good day. Leaving Superflex, Bo Nix, or Kyler. I would go Kyler still. I appreciate Cut Best Secret. I like that. Although it's probably better if I wasn't, because like then I'd have more, I mean, FTN would probably like it better, but I appreciate the kind words. Liberal Gibbon. Brian Thomas or Javante, I would go Brian Thomas Lee. Matt, I would go Tracy over Pollard for sure still. Because there is still, obviously, in certain situations when we're talking about injuries and players, like Tracy's just as good as Pollard started wise, and Tracy has no injury issue. But when you're talking about Pollard to Chestnut, significant difference. So Tracy still a safer start over Tony Pollard. And no, last I saw is that he's expected to play, but I didn't expect him to come off IR and, lead the team in targets and explode. So, who knows with the Rams, honestly. Merriman Hammer, I need help. Missed Big Sit and Wilson. So what would you do with the rest of the wide receivers and tight ends? Let's see here. He's got Hill, Olave. Bum, bum, bum. Matt, no. I have Justin Jefferson 1, but Lamb's 2. So, again, when you're talking like rankings necessarily, and a lot of these like sites, like you're talking 1 point is really the projection difference. So, Big Papa, who should I start at flex? Downs, Waddle, Tube, Chubb or Njoku. I would go Downs. Garrett, Baker, Nix, or Stafford would be Stafford. Chase Brown or Monty would be Monty, and then Ladd or JSN would be JSN for me. Taysom or TJ. I still lean TJ Hawkinson, James. I get it. Taysom Hill, like there are no backup running backs in New Orleans. I understand. Taysom's probably gonna score 2 touchdowns because I'm not in on Taysom Hill this week, but I still lean TJ. Yeah, no problem, James. I try. Try to give good advice, James. Doesn't always work, but I try. And today might not be it. Either Taysom to TJ. I don't know. I think TJ is going to be highly involved. I think there's been some reports that he was kind of good to go a couple weeks ago. So they've just kind of been nursing it in a little. And I really expect TJ to have a good game. But, it's Taysom Hill, and we never know when he's going to score 40. So, yeah, that's a struggle there, man. Like, if you have nobody else other than Puka, like you're almost stuck starting Tillman in case Puka doesn't play. Or check your waiver wire, see if you can add somebody somewhere at the back end of your roster that starts at 4 p.m. or 8 or tomorrow to be able to flex off of Puka if he doesn't play. But my guess is he plays. He's going to try to play. How good he's going to do, I don't know. But I do think he does play. Jerry, Coker, or Tillman would be Tillman. Rich Porter, need one. Madison, Ingram, D Hop, or Ridley. I'd go Ridley. Start 2, Pittman, Addison, or Ridley for Travis. I would go Pittman and Ridley. Let's see here, James. Coker or Rashad White? I'd go Rashad White. I get it. I want to see more from Coker, at least another outburst, and we'll be a little bit safer. It's more Bryce Young. If it was Andy Dalton, sure, I'd be in more on Coker, but I like Rashad White. I think he's going to have a good day today. Or, well, technically tomorrow. But Josh Jacobs banged up, having questionable status all week prior to be clearing for the game before rush defense lines play Eckler with Robinson ruled out or Jacobs. I'd still play Jacobs. Alrighty here. 12:10 already. Jeez, Louises. The day. Where has the morning gone, folks? Where has the morning gone? Let's see here. Yeah, I know. It fell back, right? Lee, it was craziness. Not for me. My daughter, who is 2, who is also being potty trained, decided that 4:30 was her wake up call today. So we've been up for like 8 hours. So, whatever, life. What is time? Nothing but a construct in which we live life, right? Yeah, the daylight savings, Matt, gets me all the time. Let's see here. James, I feel good about Tyrone Tracy this week. I wasn't super in on him totally last week. I thought they were gonna, galaxy brain us and give us some Devin Singletary. But this week, I think after that outburst again last week and the usage continuing to be heavily favored towards Tyrone Tracy, I am totally in on Tyrone Tracy this week. So definitely a one that has started for me. Any words salads for breakfast today? Oh, yeah. No, I might as well just have a salad for breakfast, right? Hopefully the potty training is over by Wednesday, if that's what you're referring to. I'm hoping. Um, we're rolling with it here. We're we're letting her run around and following behind her with a mop, basically. Whenever she decides she wants to go to the bathroom out of nowhere, we're working on it. We're working on it. Let's see here. Not my burner. Desperation play McNichols, Tucker, or uh, Wilson. I would play Nichols there. Troy, McNichols, or Bucky on Monday. I would probably go Bucky there. Not going to get that crazy. Maybe. You never know. Pick two, flex. Although maybe McNichols. I don't know. I'm torn on McNichols. Up and down. I'm in on it, but Oils fan account. Pick two for flex. Mooney, Tillman, JSN, Kraft would be JSN and Mooney. Christian Uniquez, McConkey, London, Mooney, or Tillman. Which two should I go with? London and McConkey. Mike Hopkins or Tillman? I'd go Hop. I'd go Tillman. Tillman. Mike. Stay with Tillman. Hmm. Olave or Aaron Jones, Mike? I would go Olave there. T Moore on X, Daniels or Bo Nix. I would go Daniels. Madison or Eckler, standard play. I would go Eckler there for MCAC. Let's see here. Which defense? Lions, Bengals, Eagles, Saints, Commander. Jeez, at least just give me a list here, Christian. I'll go Eagles. I feel like they got the most talent of that group. Who doesn't love starting last minute injury replacements? It's a good time. Ride the wave. Would you look to trade Addison or wait and bench him for now? As a rumor he might be traded. Feel like Darnold just doesn't look for him. I don't think he doesn't necessarily look for him. I would probably hold him for now. I still like Addison. I think that's. I love Jordan Addison. I think he's still got some time. Aaron Jones has been getting work for sure. But Chris Olave has a significant piece returning. That would be their starting quarterback. Not that Derek Carr is amazing, but much better than Spencer Rattler. So I think Derek Carr will be feeding Chris Olave a little bit more here. One more. Nope, can't give it to you, Mike. No, you're all good. Go Cedric Tillman here, Mike. Brett, Khalil Shakir, or Tyrone Tracy. I would go Tracy. Okay, here. All right. 12-18. That was a fun ride. Oh, we're gonna get a couple more stragglers in here. Ridley or Tillman for fantasy football 32. I'd go Ridley there. Let's see if I missed any. Oh, I missed some. Classic. No surprise there, right? Gorestorm, Bowers, Kelsey, or Myers need to start two of the three. Bowers and Myers. Olave to the moon. Love it. James, cheers. Good Sunday to you as well. Hopefully, a successful Sunday. Puka over McMillan or over McMillan. Oh my God. Puka over McLaurin or Marvin Harrison. I'd start him over Marvin Harrison for sure. Probably start him over both, honestly. Downs or Mooney. I would go Downs. Need two. Keelan, Coleman, Coker, or Pollard. I would go Coleman and Pollard there. Whoa, that's not English. Okay. Welcome in, Tim. Ridley or Waddle? I would go Ridley there. Not in on the Dolphins receivers against the Bills today. I do trust Eckler. I wouldn't say it's going to be an amazing day by any means, but he should be able to suffice decently low end quarter or low end running back two type numbers there, Keith. Robinson is out, unfortunately, Ranger Pete. Ertz or Elijah Moore. I would probably go Moore. I think Cleveland will have to pass a little bit more. He should have a decent day there. Tim, you are welcome. And hopefully Ridley has a similar day that he did last week. That will be really good. Charlie Pie start to half PPR, Mooney, Downs, or Eckler. I would still go Mooney and Downs. Robert, Waddle, or Dubes. I would probably go Waddle here, considering the weather issue there. That's supposedly supposed to be a ton of snow, rain. Kincaid or Otten. I'd go Otten there for you, E on X. BTJ if he plays or DJ Moore. I would go DJ Moore here. I'm trusting they try to get DJ more involved. All puns intended, right? This week, I do expect something a little bit out of DJ Moore. Okay, let's see here. Dave. Tracy. Okay, there we go. Tyrone Tracy, Dave. Davy Joe. I should reply. No need to apologize. Apologies are not needed on this show. It's all right. Just give me the correct information. We'll be good. I don't believe in apologies, sir. You're all good. Tracy is my start for you there. Lee, Judy, starting Judy on waivers tomorrow. Douglas, Tyler Boyd. Yeah, I mean, I'd start Jerry Judy. I like him the best out of that group. Keith, pick 2. Allen, Mayfield, Winston, or Daniels. Allen and Daniels. 100% Keith. Dave, you're welcome. Or Joe, not sure. Davy Joe. Can't really tell which one it is, Dave or Joe. Either one. Craig, Bears, Chiefs, or Eagles. I'd go the Eagles there, Craig. What was I doing? Just moving some stuff around. David, thank you for the kudos. Good luck to you as well. Craig, you are welcome. Keith, you are welcome. It is 12:25. We are going to roll out of here in a couple of minutes. Any questions that you have between now and the 1 p.m. kickoff, if you send it to me on Twitter, I should be able to get to it. If I don't, I do apologize. But I will try my best. So feel free to send some over to there if you do have questions left and you are seeing the tail end of this show. All right, before we get out of here, make sure you follow me on X at PopesFFH. You can go ahead and ask me questions all the time. You can also head on over to ftnfantasy.com. That's where you can sign up and you can subscribe and you get access for what's scrolling across the bottom. Data, rankings, Discord, articles, tools, plethora of options. And anything you really can get, all of our rankings, which I'm pretty much pulling all of this from. So head on over there, check that out. Ton of Dynasty stuff if you're into Dynasty. Got the Dynasty podcast as well if you want to check that out as well. All right. And until next time, aka week 10, next Sunday. I think we have some London games next Sunday, if I remember correctly. So we watching some football and taking some start sit questions. Sounds like fun to me. Till next time, good luck to everybody. Hopefully the advice is solid. Hopefully it works out. We get some wins. And take care. Have a good week.